yoga will mold you internally as a person. I was into IT and I didn't really keep myself balanced.
Okay.
So, yoga for therapy is totally different, and yoga for competitions is totally different.
Hello, beautiful people out there. Welcome to Reach Her podcast. We hear you, and this is a platform for all budding women out there. This is Madhumati here to host our guest today. Today we have Abinaya Swaminathan, a software engineer by profession and a yoga trainer by passion. Let's get started. Hello, Abhi. How are you?
Hi, Madhu. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, Abhi, how is yoga helping you during this time? I mean, you must be practicing yoga every day. So, how is it helping you during this time?
Yeah, so I've been practicing yoga regularly. So, this has been apart from my very young age.
Okay.
But along the quarantine and lockdown pandemic things, this I'm able to help a lot of people out with yoga. So especially with boosting immunity, and people tend to stay in the same place for a long while, especially when they
Yeah.
are working in IT and things like that. So they tend to do work from homes, and they do not even get up from the place that they're working in. So they tend to have digestive kind of problems and all that.
Yeah.
So just happy to be helping so many people out there, and happy that I am slowly, involving so much into my passion as well.
Yeah, so any habit, for example, when you start cultivating a habit, over the period of time, it will have some impact on us. It will make us better. Like if it's a good habit, it make us better. So, how has yoga throughout these years helped you become a better person, like by physically or mentally? How has it helped you?
There is a lot of mental balance actually. So apart from yoga, asanas, and things like that, yoga will mold you internally as a person. So mold you mentally as a person. You will tend to handle situations much better with much, you know, I would say very to put it very, right. I would say with much sense and much patience.
Yeah.
So how do we handle things, and how patient we are in taking some decisions. We give ourselves that time to think about what we are supposed to do and act accordingly. So yoga has been a major part in that in my life, and I am basically a trainer who train sports yoga people.
Oh.
So there is a yoga called sports yoga. So sports yoga is something that it involves advanced asanas. So it's mainly for people who are into athletic and that kind of bodybuilding kind of thing. So there is so much of molding to the body and the mind on the whole itself.
So you were talking about this sports yoga, right? So what else categories are there? I mean, what are the types of yoga that there are there?
There are so many kinds of yoga. I basically was trained in a yoga called Hatha Yoga. So I studied in a school where yoga was mandatory. In the very first thing that we do in the morning is either yoga or jogging. So we have to do either one of this. So it is alternate days. We do yoga and then we go for jogging. So it has evolved over the time for me. And I learned Hatha Yoga.
Okay.
Hatha Yoga is basically every kind of yoga is Hatha Yoga. So
Okay.
uh, apart from some Hatha Yoga, only so many kinds of yoga has evolved. There is Astanga Yoga, Vinyasa, Iyengar Yoga. PKS Iyengar is like the father of yoga in our country.
Okay.
So the yoga form he follows, it is called as Iyengar Yoga. Then there is Yin Yoga that is used to make people sit longer time in meditation, and Yan Yoga. So many things like that. So basically, everything has evolved from Hatha. Hatha means it is like the very simplest form of yoga with basic exercises and basic asanas. So all the kinds of yoga that is evolved from it, a stricter form, a very a lenient form of yoga, and yoga for people who meditate, yoga for people who do sports, and there is aerial yoga where there are people who specialize in aerial yoga. So it is like Air means like yoga in the air. So they do not sit on the floor anywhere. There is rope that is tied from the walls up above them, and they tend to yoga. They tend to do yoga holding curtains and all that. So that is called aerial yoga. So many different kinds of yogas are there.
Oh, that's I didn't know there were so many. I mean, it's really amazing to know that there are so many types of yoga. So this hatha yoga that you've been practicing since when, like childhood, in the sense, like when exactly did you start this yoga?
Okay, I started it when I was in my fourth grade.
Yeah.
So I was put up in a residential school. So I studied in Uti. So when I was put up over there, it was mandatory for us.
Yeah.
Thinking back, then now I feel that it has made a lot of changes to my life and the person who I am now. But that time, waking up at 5 o'clock and going to yoga was a very big task in life. So it was very hard initially, but I learned a lot of things. I had the basics. Actually, I did it when I was in my fourth standard till my eighth standard. So it was vigorous practices. I used to go to competitions. It was in full flow. But then I had to change my school. I had to change the city of my schooling. So that was a total change for me. I had moved to Chennai at that time, and for me, from a very small town to Chennai was comparatively big then.
Yeah.
So now I'm used to Chennai, and now I feel very comfortable with Chennai. But then it took like 4 years for me to get used to Chennai and get to know people, how to talk and all that. Within that, my schooling was over. So 4 years of schooling I did in Chennai. And after that, after I came to Chennai, there was a total gap in yoga. So I used to practice at home, but I stopped going for competitions. I stopped getting trained from anybody, any master, because I didn't know anyone over here, and my family was also comparatively new over here.
Okay.
So about a decade, I would say.
So
about 10 years gap, and
for so long you've been practicing, and in the middle you had a break. I mean, not exactly a break,
yeah,
sort of a break.
I had a break from professional teaching and professional learning and all that. So there was mild practice what I used to do, and then I started gymming. So it was going like this, something that I was doing to keep myself fit and to keep my body and mind in place. After that, I again started because I started facing some problems in my own body because I was into IT, and I didn't really keep myself balanced. The food patterns that I was following and all that went wide apart with my work and things. I didn't balance it very well. So I decided that I'm supposed to do this properly, and that work-life balance, I learned it during that point of time. And then I slowly incorporated yoga. See, I had gained a lot of weight actually. So I had gained about 73 kgs of weight, but it didn't show outside because I'm comparatively a little bit tall, and it doesn't show that I'm so much weight. But when I stand on the weighing scale only, I know. So I had gained about 10 kgs, 12 kgs of weight. So I wanted to reduce that first. And people saw me. They were, when you reduce weight tremendously, then you get noticed, right? So this happened in span of 2 months. I didn't do anything like aggressive dieting or aggressive exercise, nothing like that. I stopped outside food. I started cooking for my own self. I had that food. So I was staying away from home. So I was doing my own food. So I had a place to stay. I had my relatives' place to stay. And somehow, either they could cook food for me. I was taking home food by any way. And I started implementing these exercises, yoga, and whatever I could in the 2 hours span I had. And I used to train in my office generally. So there was nothing adverse and nothing very big that I did. So when people started seeing results, they asked me like what I was doing. And you see, nowadays girls, I would tell like if there are 5 girls, 3 out of 5 have PCOD and PCOS problems. So I had my own colleagues who had that problem, and when they saw me, they were just asking like, hey, you had so much weight gain, so you had reduced weight. I have PCOD and PCOS, some problem. I want to reduce weight. This is the first suggestion that the doctor gives you when you're having PCOD. They'll ask you to reduce weight. They'll ask you to exercise for you to reduce weight. So a minimum of 30 minutes of exercise per day. So I started training people, and there were results. There were very good results. So that is what motivated me to move next. I didn't start training people with any intention. Like it was a very blank mind. So I'm just doing this. I didn't expect anything out of it.
Because you were good at
Just
it, you were just
training.
sharing it with people. Like since you were
Pardon?
since you were good at it, and you just like when they ask for help, and you
Started
just did it. Yeah.
it. I just used to pull them to the gym, and we all used to train together in the gym. That is how it was. It wasn't anything very professional and all. So when I started seeing results, many people told me to take this to the next level. So they told me like, okay, you're doing good with this, just upskill yourself so that
Yeah.
you can do something professionally out of it, and you can start reaching many people out there.
Mm.
So that's how all this started.
So you were telling, like by just with yoga, they're able to solve a lot of problems, maybe health or obesity or mental stability and all these things. Then, what is the? Is there any difference between normal gymming, like you work out and you do this other like hard workouts, and what is the difference between that and yoga? How is it different?
No, okay. So when I started seeing people who came for PCOD issues,
Okay.
I had and the first person I trained. She was a little bit obese, and she was comparatively very short.
Okay.
So for her weight, she is over 70% weight. So she shouldn't be that much weight. She's supposed to reduce weight exponentially.
Okay.
So when I give her gymming exercises, she's not able to do it.
Mm.
Only cardio, that too cardio. If I ask her to do cycling or any kind of cardio, just jumping jacks also, she'll do 10 counts, 20 counts, and then she'll start gasping. She'll not be able to do it. So you you cannot train people with normal gym workouts. That's what I felt, especially girls when you take, because as they gain weight, their upper body weight is also increasing, and when they jump and all, they feel very uneasy in outside environment, especially a gym. So
Yeah.
when it's yoga, I started training her with yoga only. Normal exercises, basic exercises that first increased her flexibility.
Okay.
So when there is increased flexibility itself, there is so much of confidence in them. If they are able to just hold their leg from their, from the front, that is a great achievement to them. They'll feel very happy. So that kind of confidence will slowly increase. And when confidence is increasing, I will make her to do wall inclined handstands every day. And even if I'm not one day, she'll just pull me. Abhi, let's do it. Come on. We haven't done handstands today. Come on, let's do it. It is
Yeah.
just inclining to not doing a full handstand, but she'll tell. This handstand thing is giving me so much of confidence every day,
Mm.
because my weight and to my height, I never thought that I'll be able to do this. And I always felt that I would fall down if I try to run. So usually this happens to girls. So when they are gaining weight, especially in their hip areas and below that, they feel that their body weight has increased so much, and normal somersault, what we do at home, kutti
Yeah.
karnam. So that also they'll not try it. They'll feel very scared to do it. It's nothing. It's all there. You have been doing it when you were young, right? So there is some amount of weight gain. That is not going to. First, that fear should go off. When
Mm.
that fear goes off, slowly all that consciousness and everything will go off, and they can even start gymming along with yoga. So
Yeah.
I will recommend that. Many people ask, can we club together all this? That is how I train. So
Okay.
I used to do some. No, initially I will start with some kind of cardio, not just. I mostly will not use the treadmills. So I will tend to do my own body cardio, something that is inclined to my weight and the way I do it. So I will do something like that, and then stretches, some yoga, and then some weights I lift. And what part of the body today I'm doing? Suppose I'm doing it for leg, those kind of workouts, and then again I come back to stretches. Again I finish it with some handstands or something that I am working on. If I'm working on back flexibility, deepening my back bends, then I'll do that. I'll do that in the gym, and people around you in the gym is also. I have felt that like they get motivated seeing you doing
Yeah. Yeah.
something different instead of
True.
just
True.
lifting, because not everybody can lift weights, and lifting weights it is a total hats off to people who can lift so much weights. But I personally have felt I can lift maximum of 30 kgs, not more than that. I cannot I can do it, but I personally feel that it's not too much of my strength. So what you can do is there are a lot of people like me. I feel, apart from people who can lift 70 kgs, 80 kgs and all that, there are so many people who want simple things to cure their problem. In
Yeah.
yoga itself, if an advanced pose is doing a work, advanced pose is stimulating a particular organ, the same work can be done with the help of a simple asana, a basic asana.
Okay.
So yoga for therapy is totally different, and yoga for competitions is totally different.
Oh, okay, fine, fine. So you were telling about training your friend or anybody. So you said that the moment she started doing and seeing a little bit of change, like doing basic things, she felt like an achievement. So since then you were doing it on your own, like you were training yourself and you were doing it only with you. And then when you started training people and you found that they were so happy and they felt like an achievement, how was your reaction to it? How did you feel?
I started devising new plans. So I started including first when I started taking, I was doing it only for my friends. That time it
Okay.
wasn't much professional and all that.
Okay.
And financially also, it wasn't giving me too much of a boom and things like that.
Okay.
According to business, I would say I didn't make any big progress like taking it as a business, but I was doing it for it was making me really happy. So some
Okay.
purpose is there. So I found my purpose, something like that. I felt something big. Now I feel that okay, fine. There is a lot more to go. There is so much of way to go for me. But initially, when you start, it gave me so much of happiness. But the thing is, when I started training professionally, I had to devise plans. So taking yoga classes, like I will schedule 10 classes, 8 classes per month, things like this. So I will set targets to them. So if they come with backbend flexibility, some people will come, I need flexibility. Some people are like, I don't even have strength in my arms, I want to increase that. So all this cannot happen in one day, because our body, especially flexibility, I'll tell, our body is used to certain level of bends
Mm.
and certain level of pulls. Only this much. We have been doing this for about 20 years, 25 years, some people 30, 35 years.
Yeah.
Within one day or 1 month, we cannot solve this problem completely. And your body has to break. Slowly, it has to break, and it has to, complete certain threshold to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
to this that you are aiming for. First level, there should be patience. And I should have that level of knowledge to explain them and make them understand that this is not a one day process. Because
Yeah.
if I do not explain them, what happens is, if they are not seeing result, they will not continue with this. So me
Yeah.
them coming to me is secondary thing. They will stop doing yoga. So
True.
that I shouldn't. As a person who's training, I want to make sure that you come to me or not, you're doing it with my assistance or not. I just want you to get
You have to
trained. So you do it.
practice.
You're doing it for your own self. Just be consistent with whatever you do. So
Yeah.
I will devise plans. I will devise plans for each session. I will devise, stretches for each session. Not just asanas. I will just include CrossFit also in between.
Mm.
And I also give them diets. So not specific diets to reduce body weight or reduce fat, things like that. I will give them list of things you're not supposed to take, you're not supposed to consume, because this is not good for your health, because it has been processed this way. I will give them some, very proven details, so that they do not touch the product again.
Okay. So talking about this diet, I mean, there are different problems out there. I mean, some people have like they'll be very normal and suddenly they'll start gaining weight. Like out of nowhere, they'll just start gaining weight. Some people out of nowhere, they're losing weight. And then for some people, some health issues will be there. So for each of these problems, is it different diet that you say, or is it like for your problem and this is the kind of diet you will have to have? Is that how you prescribe?
Okay. So the first thing is, as you said, many people they gain weight. So mostly there are set of problems with which you can gain weight is exponentially when you are a woman. The
Okay.
first thing comes with POD, PCOS, and few people they get during menopause. So younger, yeah, elder ladies, so my mom's age and all that, they get it during menopause. Some people exponentially reduce weight during menopause, and stress is also a main reason. And many people they get it because of their eating habits. Their eating habits are not proper, and you know, what I will tell is, it's called eating clean. So whatever you eat it clean. Eat good food. Eat a lot of green. Eat a lot of food that is not cooked. So if you're having carrots, try to have carrots fresh. Just buy
Without
carrots,
cooking.
put it. water along with turmeric and salt. Just soak it for some time. Just take it, wash it off, and peel off the skin. Have the carrot fresh and have a lot of green juice. And if you're able to cultivate plants on your own, just do it at home. Have a pot. Just try to cultivate a tomato plant. The tomato, taste it, and then you're not going back to the store and getting tomatoes on your own. So first thing over here is you need to get seeds from a good place. I will tell. All this will sound like what for one thing you're asking to cultivate and all and eat. This is all a big thing, but very simply, what for you're earning and what everything you're doing. You're getting debts, you're getting house, and you're getting all this. What for you're doing? Everything is for your comfort. You can enjoy all this only when you have health.
Health.
So take some, hmm, take some what I would say, uh, some amount of care on your own self and try to bring that thing into your life so that when you have kids in future, they see you and they'll also follow it. If not, so many kinds of seeds. So I am a farmer's daughter. So I know so many kinds of seeds have gone somewhere. They are not even there.
Yeah.
What they tell is country seeds they'll
Yeah.
call it as. So if you're taking bitter gourd, there is country bitter gourd, not pavaka, and there is also a hybrid will be this big when it's cultivated. The breath is going to be this big, but natu pavaka is this small. It is very small, and you should see the bitterness. It is damn bitter, but it's very good for the health. It's very good, and it's not been genetically modified anyway. And similar thing you see in broiler and country chickens.
Okay.
So country chicken will not have so much of flesh and all. It
Yeah.
has a lot of bones. And how does a country chicken eat? It will go pick something and it is going to eat. So it is basically picking all that that's necessary for its body. Country, and on the hand, how is it grown? It cannot go anywhere. It cannot even walk properly. It is being fed with so many things, and it is being made to gain weight, gain flesh, and it is coming to the market for people. So many things, and especially as girls, as human beings, actually, not alone girls, please do not take broiler chicken. Please do not take anything that is being genetically modified. So they tell this even for simple dog breeding also. Do not make a very small dog, a dog that is being grown in German, brought to India. Do not make it breed with a country dog in India, because the product of it is not going to stay healthy. It might die, or even if it is being developed, it is not going to be in a very good mental state. The same thing goes for vegetables, the same thing goes for fruits, and the same thing goes for meat as well. So when you're taking a country chicken's an egg, and if you keep it in the refrigerator and you're not using it for a very long period of time, and the refrigerator goes off for some reason, there will be a chick inside. Have you seen that happening any time for a white egg that you bought from the store? Why is it not happening? Why? That means it is not fertile, right? Why is it not fertile? So it is giving birth to eggs, and the eggs are not fertile. That means it has no fertility on its own. Everything, it is just like something that is being grown just for eating, something that is being grown just for flesh. So many technical details in it. I do not want to go too deep, but do not take things that are genetically modified. Try to have red meat as much as possible, and try to avoid broiler chicken. Try to take country chicken. It's very good to be a vegetarian, but it's totally upon a person's choice.
So you have given a lot of information about eating healthy and eating organic food and choosing a country grown product, I mean food, than compared to this genetically modified one. Talking about this, you also are an admin of another page called For Farm, right? I mean, you have a page, and so tell us about that page. Like, what is the objective of that page? What is it for?
Okay. So when I had an intention to do this, I'm actually a software engineer.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make an app for people that will connect farmers around. And what happens is, now if I want to grow something that is of a country variety, that's of a very old and aged thing. For example, take pumpkins. So pumpkin, the country variety pumpkin I want to grow. How a country variety pumpkin will taste? It will be very, very sweet. It will be very tasty. There will not be anything like threads that we get in today's pumpkin we get in today's shop. It will be damn sweet, but I need that seed in order to grow it. Where is that seed found? So I'm not getting that seed anywhere. Okay, I'm trying to do organic farming. I am trying to do all pasumai kurachi and things like that, but I need seed. Only with the seed I can do it. If I
Yeah,
put genetically modified, some will grow, some may not grow, but I'm getting the food anyway. But I want the seed. That is the old and variety seed. How
true.
do I get this? So there has to be a community of people who can do this. And
Yeah,
Core Farm was it was designed to be a product based thing. And it was planned to collect seeds from people and form a group of people who will be doing things only for organic and delivering it directly to the society and making people cultivate on their own, at least with a pot in their home. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. So it's people from very low income to people from the very elite people, everybody can do it. So a pot and you try to cultivate something in that pot and try to have it once. So there are banana trees at my home,
yeah,
and when you plant that tree, the tree is growing, and water that tree every day. Finally there is banana from that tree. Just pick that banana, just try to taste that banana. You will never tell that the banana is not tasty, because you have done so much work for it, and the whole nutrients is going into your body because you know how you cultivated. It
yeah.
was grown with no pesticides, just cow dung, and just with all natural
Compost.
produces that is being from your own home.
Yeah. That's a real beautiful initiative, Abhi. I mean, this four farm, like most of us want to do organic farming, and we seek for organic fruits. And there are so many organic stores out there. We don't know how authentic are those stores. And if we
Hmm.
even have to grow it at home, we don't know where to go find. And even if we find, we don't know if it is really the actual seed or is it genetically modified. We're not known because we are far
We
away
don't
from
know
the
it.
actual origin. Yeah. So this app is, I mean, this idea itself is a real beautiful idea, and I hope many people use that for the betterment. So talking about yeah, so maybe yoga or maybe having this organic food, it is all a part of sustainability, right? And you have spoken about sustainability also. So now these are the methods that you suggested to be organic and have healthy food. Can you tell the audience how important is it and what have we lost by not being that organic or not being the way we used to be like years back?
Okay. Now we see a lot of cows in the street,
Yeah,
especially when I see in Chennai. Not in my city it is very less common because there is so much of farming area over here. In Chennai city, when I have seen many cows eating plastic. I have seen them eating paper. Why is all this happening? Because we are disposing plastic. Earlier this did not happen because there was very less plastic deposition into the environment. So cows are eating it, and we drink the milk of that cow. What is this happening in a total revolution? And the cow goes ill, and finally one day it dies off.
yeah,
So we are depositing a lot of plastic in the environment. And I have seen, very on a very plain note, girls, we use sanitary napkins, menstrual cups, tampons. So all these are the products that are normally available. What did our moms use? They did not use any of this. They were using cloths.
yeah,
So they told cloths are not very hygienic. And we have banned cloths now. We are not using cloths. We are using sanitary napkins. Okay, fine. Using sanitary napkins once in a while, you're going for a long trip, or you are an athlete and you have to use a tampon. All that is good. So totally fine. But when you are at home, when you're resting at home, why not try to use a cloth and learn how to use it? So it is nothing about being hygienic, that it is unhygienic, nothing like that. Even if you are using a napkin and you are disposing it in the wrong way, you are not being hygienic. That is the thing. You're using a napkin and you're throwing it away in the street, you're throwing it away somewhere because you are in a highway, you are in a trip. That is also wrong. That is also causing a lot of damage to the environment. And you know what? You are disposing napkins on the road. Stray dogs, they tend to take out the napkins and they tend to taste that blood. It is um, in a very authentic manner. This is very wrong, and nobody is supposed to touch the thing that is getting out from your body. It is not waste. It is something. All the energy that you have, you are draining it out of your body because it is not needed now. So disposing it properly is very important, and please try to avoid sanitary napkins because sanitary napkin basically has plastic under it in order to have your blood under retention. Try to use something that is more biodegradable, and there are a lot of people who do cloth pads now. So pads, they come in cloth itself. There are layers of absorbent layer in it, so it will not go anywhere, it will not leak, or it will not do anything. Just try it, just try to experiment a lot of things, and basically take responsibility, because when your son is born, when your daughter is born, they have to see rain, they have to see where the rain comes from, and they have to see where milk comes from. They should not tell milk is coming from grocery store and rain is something somebody is showering from the helicopter. It shouldn't be like that. They are supposed to see all this because you enjoyed everything, you have everything. Why not your kids? So you're depriving something to your kid when you are putting a lot of pressure on the environment. And similarly, plastic bags. Now it's a very good thing, our Indian government, they have done it, so they have banned plastic bags. But even now in rural places we see a lot of shops who do in plastic bags. Tell no to them. You need not tell them, contradict them or anything. Just tell no, I have my own bag. Do it. When everybody does it, they will stop buying plastic. Only when demand is there, supply will be there.
True, true, true.
So if there is no demand, if you're not asking for it, who is going to produce it? Nobody is going to produce it. So everybody, every single person, when they take the responsibility, they do it. And do not deposit plastic except in the dustbin. Do not put it down. What happens is, if you're putting it down, it is not going to be degraded. It is going to take hundreds of years for a piece of plastic to be, disintegrated. So what happens is, they keep going deeper underground. What happens? Your underwater level is going to be reduced, because at some point it is going to block that layer, and plastic basically will not allow water to flow through it. So underwater level is also getting replenished. And underwater level, so this brings me to another topic. So there are places, so my city, I am in Tirupur. So Tirupur is very well, and it is very famous for banian companies, exporters. So most of us in Tirupur, they are exporters. So what happens is, there is a river called Noyal in Tirupur. It is like Kuvam in Chennai. Kuvam is a river. Kuvam is not drainage. Kuvam is a river. Noyal is not drainage. Noyal is a river. It doesn't look like that. So Noyal is like, it is similar to how Kuvam looks now. There has been a lot of plans to bring back Noyal on the flow, and bring back that river kind of feeling instead of a drainage, because there are so many outlets, there are so many drainage outlets into Noyal that is being, people tend to do that. They are putting all industry waste, dyeing waste and everything. That is why they have banned dyeings in Tirupur. Only very few dyeings with very proper regulations, they are functioning now. But we have done it so many years before, and see the result now. Even now the river doesn't seem like a river itself. It will take years for it to come back to its normal state. So we are doing it for one purpose. Maybe we are also doing it for our own selfishness. Maybe it is going to cost some more money to get all the plans set up done, and to get all the regulations set up and all that. But see, one family or one person is doing it for their own benefit, and who is being put under pressure? Not us, the environment and my future generation. My kids are being put under pressure, and my kids are not going to see Noyal tomorrow. Even I haven't seen Noyal flowing very properly. So I have seen in images, I have seen how Kuam flows in images. Beautiful rivers actually, but nothing seems like a river now. It is our responsibility. Take responsibility and act accordingly. Do not ask. See, I am one person. If I do, will everything change? I have seen people very well educated people, my own colleagues, asking this when they want to vote. So if I am going to vote, will things change? I have to spend so much of money and go vote. Will things change? It is not like that. If everybody in the country are telling that I have to spend money and go vote, will things change? Nothing is going to change. The similar thing. Take a very small initiative and do it. Living sustainability will cost very less than living unsustainable. This is very true. Try to experiment this and try to find out ways to, mitigate cost with being sustainable.
That was really informative, Abhi. I mean, you explained the whole scenario. I mean, from where it started, from what we're doing now, and how it can be changed. That is so true. I mean, you told this one person changing concept. I myself have felt it, because when I tell people not to throw things on there'll be dustbins, but they don't throw it in the dustbins. They just litter it everywhere. When we tell them not to throw on streets, the first question is, just because I don't throw doesn't mean this place is going to be clean. So
Yeah,
I hope people understand that change starts from within, and they follow this sustainability. And especially when it comes to individuals, we change. Like, it is the individuals, it is from the family that things start. Now, if the businesses are big and they're going to, do some processes, and they're not bothered about how environment is going to be bothered, then that is the way they're brought up. I mean, these are big things that are to be taught by the young age itself. I hope all people out there who are watching this, and people who get this understanding, teach their kids also to be a sustainable person, and be keep the environment safe. So, what is that you would like to tell the audience in order to, practice sustainability and make this a better place? What is your advice to them?
okay. So sustainability starts from home. So one home. So cleanliness also starts from home. That's what, we have heard songs in Tamil telling the same thing. So
Mhm.
one home, one person in that home is responsible. In my home, my mom is responsible. She will not let us do anything that is unwanted. Unwanted means you're getting a chocolate. She'll ask, chocolate, wrapper, where are you going to throw the wrapper? So this wrapper is plastic. Come, I'll make you something at home. Not always, but try to minimize it. Try to minimize the use. Try to be zero waste. Zero waste means, suppose I'm baking a cookie. From that cookie, I shouldn't get any waste. That is zero waste. That means all the produce should be in your home. You should be able to do your produce. It is called as Tachadbu Valkai. So
Yeah.
Tachadbu Valkai means you are dependent on
Yes.
your own self. You have everything that you need. So Tachadbu, sun சார்பு என் மேலேயே நான் சார்ந்து இருக்கிறது. So that kind of living is called Tachadbu Valkai. So try to maintain that kind of a living, so that you minimize waste. And when there is waste, when everybody tries to do this kind of a living, there is not going to be production of unwanted things. And coming back again, so one home, in that one person, if they are very responsible, then the whole family will change. Preferably, if the mother is responsible, the father will change. The father is going to tell the kids, and it varies from family to family, it's from person to person. But personally, for me, this has happened. My mom is like that. I learned a lot of things from her. From whatever she's doing, she wants to set up things in a very right way, in a very she will think about my grandchildren, how they are going to live. So the future generation, the 40 years and 60 years from now, how this is going to be. So when my mom is planting a tree at home, there are a lot of trees at home. So there is an organization called Vanathukul Tirupur in Tirupur. So their aim, they have been on this track for the past 6 years, and they have planted 8 lakh trees
Yeah.
only in the district of Tirupur, because Tirupur has, the amount of rain in Tirupur, it has been deteriorating exponentially. So they want to increase that. They want to make city a lot more greener. So they started this plan, and it has been going on for 6 years. So in the same plan, we have farms, and we have planted a lot of trees in the farm. So when mom is doing this, there are people who ask, see, how long are you going to live? So within your span, will this tree grow? There is a jackfruit tree. Will this tree grow and give you a fruit within your life? Okay, my mom is thinking like this, and she's not planting it. Everybody in my mom's age is thinking like that, and they're not doing it. And in my age, even I'm thinking. Then who is going to do it? Who is
Yeah.
going to take the initiative? Why think only about yourself? Think about others. See, your weight is put on the earth, and you are standing on the earth. You are standing on Mother Earth. she is bearing your weight,
You need
right?
to
What
give
are you
back.
doing for her?
Yeah.
Something. We are not giving anything back, right? So when people, my mom will tell a very simple thing. If everybody are thinking like this and not doing anything, who will only do it? There has to be one person at least who's doing it, right? So there is an entire organization in Tirupur who's doing that. Very, very proud to be a part of them and very proud to, for having contributed via my mom. Without her, nothing of this would have been possible. And I wouldn't have spoke so much to you, and I wouldn't have taken yoga as my, planning to do this full term, and I wouldn't have taken this decision if she wasn't there along with me. So on the whole, a very supportive family. My sister does it as well, my father. So everybody, they have been responsible. They have years to hear to what my mom tells, and not just tell that, oh, you keep telling stuff like this, just stay quiet. Nothing like that. So if one person is telling something, whomever it may be in your home, or if one person of the street tells you something good, if it's good, no matter who the person is, it's a good information, right? It's something that's going to benefit 1,000 people, right? Then just do it. If we keep thinking about only ourselves and keep moving very selfish, then at one point we are going to get stuck. We are going to hit somewhere and stop. There will not be turning back. There will not be a way further. That shouldn't happen to our future generation.
Thank you so much, Abhi. I mean, that is, you rightly said, if there's a information, if somebody's telling it, then do take it, because most of us are very self-centered, and all we think about is my today's need. Even ours, we don't think of future. Like, today, am I happy? Today is this easy? And in this world of instant things happening, everything has changed. I hope people take this advice and start doing things. Initially, yes, it is going to be tough to change, but over the period of time, it is going to be more than beneficial to them. So, thank you so much for your time, Abhi, for sharing so much of information with us, talking about how selfless humans have to be. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I thoroughly enjoyed the session. Yoga is something that will benefit a lot, and only if you try to experience it, you'll know what all it can do to your body and your mind. So, not just me. I have heard people, so many people who don't even know what yoga is, come and they feel that it is refreshing. Something it is doing something to my body, and I feel a lot more confident now. So
Yeah.
many things you try to experiment on your own self. Do give it a shot. Try how yoga is. Different kinds of yoga, any kind of yoga you can try. If you want to go on adventure, do aerial yoga. If you want to do simple asanas, just do it with that. And for everything, we need not go take tablets.
Yeah, true.
That can be self cure. That can be done with the help of yoga,
Thank you.
therapy yoga.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Abhi. Thank you so much. And to the audience, thank you so much for listening to us. I hope you've got a lot of insights about how sustainable you can be, and insights about yoga, how helpful it can be to you. Stay tuned till the next session. Until then, this is Madhumati signing off from Reach Her Podcast. We hear you, and this is a platform for all budding women out there. Thank you.
Reach Skyline. Embrace digital.